The unexpected university decision that could change Princess Leonore's royal path. Introduction. One decision. A much bigger question. What if one of the most important decisions in Princess Leonore's journey toward the Spanish throne isn't about a crown at all? What if it is about a university? For most young people, choosing where to study is a personal decision. But Princess Leonore is not preparing for an ordinary career. She is Spain's heir to the throne. Her education, military training, public appearances, and international experience are all part of a much larger preparation for a constitutional role she may one day assume. That is why her future university path has attracted so much curiosity. Will she continue her education in Spain? Will she study abroad again? Will she choose a subject closely connected to government and international relations? Or could she pursue an academic direction that gives her a very different experience from previous generations of Spanish royals? Whatever path she takes, the decision could influence the person she becomes before she ever becomes queen. And that is the real story. Chapter 1. Why University matters so much for Leonore. For most students, university is a period of discovery. It is where young people begin making independent decisions about their future. They meet people from different backgrounds. They encounter unfamiliar ideas. They learn how to defend their opinions while listening to others. For Leonore, those experiences could have an additional purpose. As future monarch, she will eventually have to understand the country she represents from many different perspectives. Spain is not simply a collection of institutions. It is millions of people with different regions, cultures, languages, professions, political opinions, and personal experiences. A university environment could therefore give Leonore something that no royal ceremony can provide: a chance to learn alongside people who are not part of her immediate world. That experience could be extremely valuable. Chapter 2. Leonore has already taken an unusual educational journey. Leonore's education has already crossed borders. She attended UWC Atlantic College in Wales, an international school known for bringing together students from many different countries. That experience exposed her to a diverse environment at an important stage of her development. It also demonstrated something about the way her parents approached her education. The future Queen of Spain was not educated exclusively within the Spanish royal environment. She experienced life abroad. She studied alongside other young people. And she developed a perspective beyond Spain's borders. That international experience could become particularly important as she moves into higher education, because the Queen of Spain will not only represent Spain domestically, she will also represent the country internationally. Chapter 3. The question of Spain or abroad. One of the biggest questions surrounding Leonore's future education is whether she will continue her studies in Spain or once again choose an international environment. Both possibilities carry advantages. Studying in Spain could give her deeper exposure to the country's universities, institutions, and society. She would be closer to the national environment she is preparing to serve. But studying abroad could give her another perspective. It could strengthen her international network. It could expose her to different academic traditions. And it could provide a degree of independence away from the intense attention surrounding the Spanish royal family. For Leonore, there is no simple answer. The decision would have to balance education, security, royal responsibilities, and personal development. Chapter 4. Could her choice actually change her royal path? The phrase, change her royal path, sounds dramatic. But there is an important distinction. A university decision would not change Leonore's constitutional position as heir to the Spanish throne. Her place in the succession is determined by Spain's constitution and laws, not by where she studies. So a university choice cannot suddenly remove her from the path toward the crown. But education can change something else. It can change the person preparing to become monarch. Imagine Leonore studying international relations, or law, or economics, or another discipline that captures her interest. Each field could influence how she understands the world. And those ideas could eventually influence how she approaches her responsibilities. Education shapes perspective. Perspective shapes judgment. And judgment will matter enormously when Leonore eventually takes on greater constitutional responsibilities. Chapter 5. Following her father's footsteps? King Felipe VI's preparation provides an interesting point of comparison. His education combined academic study, military training, and international experience. Leonore is following some elements of that tradition. Her military education has been particularly significant. She has trained with different branches of Spain's armed forces, reflecting the expectations placed on a future commander-in-chief. But Leonore is also developing her own path. She belongs to a different generation. She grew up in an era dominated by social media, global connectivity, rapid technological change, and changing expectations of public institutions. Her preparation therefore cannot simply be a copy of her father's. It has to respond to the world she will eventually inherit. Chapter 6. The personal side of the decision. There is another factor that is easy to forget. Leonore is still a young woman. Behind the title and constitutional expectations is a person making decisions about education and adulthood. University could be one of the first periods when she experiences greater independence. That independence could be valuable. A future queen needs confidence, but she also needs judgment. She needs to understand how ordinary people experience the world. She needs the ability to listen, and she needs the emotional maturity to make difficult decisions. University cannot teach all of those things, but the experiences surrounding university can contribute to them. Chapter 7 The royal family's biggest challenge for King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia. Leonor's education must involve a delicate balance. They have to prepare their daughter for an extraordinary future. At the same time, they must allow her to develop as an individual. Too much protection could leave her isolated from reality. Too much exposure could overwhelm her. Too much tradition could limit her. Too much independence could create unnecessary complications for a future head of state. The challenge is finding the middle ground. And Leonor's university years could become one of the clearest tests of that balance. Conclusion The decision behind the decision. So, could an unexpected university decision change Princess Leonor's royal path? Not in the constitutional sense. Her position as heir does not depend on her university choice, but it could influence something far more personal, the kind of queen she eventually becomes. Where she studies could influence the people she meets. What she studies could influence how she understands the world, and how much independence she experiences could influence her confidence and judgment. That is why Leonor's university future deserves attention. The real question isn't simply, where will Princess Leonor go to university? It is, what kind of future queen will that experience help create? Her journey toward the crown is already underway. Military training, education, public service, official engagements, and soon, another important academic chapter. Whatever decision she ultimately makes, it will be another piece of the much larger story of Spain's future queen. And perhaps the most fascinating part is this: the crown may already be waiting for Leonor, but the person who eventually wears it is still being shaped. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories about Princess Leonor, the Spanish royal family, and Europe's future monarchs. And tell us in the comments, do you think Leonor's next university chapter should be in Spain or abroad, and what subject would best prepare her for the crown?